All right, so we're here at Wicked Sticky Designs in Atkinson, New Hampshire. This is Jay Gallant, owner of Wicked Sticky, and we're gonna do some work on the truck and probably apply some vinyls today. Jay, tell me about your shop and what you guys do here.
So we've been in business since 2006. We started with a small little cutter, and now we have a 60-inch vinyl printer, latex vinyl printer, laminator, and a 64-inch cutter. So we can handle anything from a small decal to a full wrap. So today we'll be working on your Tacoma, lettering it up for your business.
So what's the first thing we should do?
So good clean truck is probably the best thing to start with. So we'll wash it. Once we dry it all down and get it all dried, we'll just wipe it down with some alcohol and remove any of the decals that we don't want on there. Maybe your 4x4 or your TRD sticker will come off, and then it's off to printing and just laying out the graphics, getting it done.
Sounds good. Let's get to it.
All right.
All the early days when we were having fun, that white cats were just slowly gone, laying on them songs, pouring out our souls. You've got to look so you can know where you're going. One of these days I get around to riding this wave, and I'm just bound to do it. I can't quit, no matter how hard I try. One of these days I get around to it. I see the whole wide world and the promised land. I've been up on the mountain, down on the beach in the sand. I can't give up, it's not in my blood. They're telling me to slow down, but the only thing that I can say is one of these days I get around to it. I'm riding this wave, and I'm just bound to do it.
The slots that are in the bumper for a light are just a hair too small. So just gotta open it up a little bit so I can get this light in there. The stud's just a little big.
So this was a customer designed file, and they did a great job on the design. It looks great, like an Ivan Stewart type retro design. So basically we measured the truck and downstairs and got our chicken scratch measurements here on the bed with the body lines and all that stuff. We just sizing everything up and trying to get it ready to go on the truck and make sure it's going to fit first time.
One of these days, one of these days, oh, one of these days. One of these days, one of these days, oh, one of these days. One of these days I get around to.
So this is the lamination. This is, for lack of better terms, like a clear coat you'd put over the wrap so that it takes it from 5 to 7 years to 7 to 10 years now. So we might have to adjust that.
we are wiring. So we're doing some wiring. Scott's working on the wiring for the rear pocket lights on the rear bumper. And I'm extending this loom for the rock lights on the sliders. We'll just run these wires up into the engine compartment where they'll wire into the controller.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Phil.
Alright, here's my wire for you guys.
I'm here to receive. Oh, wow. Okay. What are you eating, Phil?
What's happening here?
This is a what we in New England call a three-way. It's a roast beef sandwich and an onion roll with cheese, barbecue sauce, and mayonnaise.
All right, so we got our wiring done. The rear lights and the front lights are wired up, loomed up to the engine bay. Got the truck up on the lift. Now we're gonna start putting on the power brake system.
This is a power brake caliper that we're going to be installing onto Ben's truck once we get that New England seasoning off of your old calipers and brake lines.
Ever so slightly crusty. Typical New England crusty.
Decisions to decisions are made and not bump it. I thought this wouldn't hurt a lot, I guess not. Control yourself, take only what you need from it. A family of trees wanted to be haunted. Control yourself, take only what you need from it. A family of trees wanted to be haunted.
Cutting off the dust shield because the new rotor, which is over there, because the new rotor doesn't fit on with this dust shield, so we kind of just have to chop this whole thing off.
Control yourself, take only what you need from it. A family of trees wanted.
So right now I'm cleaning up the hub, getting all the rust off so that when we go to put the new rotors on, it'll have a nice clean flat surface and the rotor won't be out of alignment.
Trees wanted to be haunted. Control yourself, take only what you need from it. A family of trees wanted to be haunted. Control yourself, take only what you need from it. A family of
Does that feel stable, Phil?
He's a big tough guy, but he's
You
not
sure?
at skill level. He's not.
I am pumping the brakes, so I'm pushing fluid from the reservoir down to the caliper. Scott's cracking the bleed port and getting the air out.
I guess just start pushing fluid. Just start pumping the brake pedal.
Just 3 times and hold.
Yeah, just push it a bunch and see what happens, because we got a lot of air to get out.
1, 2, 3.
Right here. Pretty darn close on either side. I was just using the Victory. That fits great. What you need?
Nice time to bolt through.
Well, man, it's been a great 2 days. The truck looks awesome.
Thank you.
I am beside myself with how this thing looks.
Excellent.
Thanks for letting us use the shop to do some work,
My
and
pleasure.
we'll be sure to meet up with you sometime soon.
Sounds
I think
great.
we're going to do some wheeling over
Yeah,
the
I'd
summer.
like to see you guys out on the trail. It'd be a great time. So,
Absolutely.
awesome.
Cool. Now we're going to roll out, and next we'll do some radio install and take care of some of the stuff in the cabin. All right, we've got the wrap on the truck. Everything on the outside of the truck is done. We've got lights, antenna for our radio. Everything's already on there. And now we just have to get down to wiring. So we're at Phil's house, and we're going to spend the day sort of fishing wires through the firewall and wiring up the Midland radio and all the KC lights and whatnot. All right, so we're going to be wiring the radio into the center console, or mounting the radio in the center console. So we're going to run the wiring underneath all of this. So the first step is going to be pulling this whole center console out. So you're going to have to remove your shifter knob, pull the e-brake up, open this, and then all you gotta do is grab right here, and the whole thing comes right up. What I have here is, this is a Cat 6 extension cable, and what this is gonna allow us to do is put the connection for our microphone anywhere I want in the truck. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this cable down to here. I'm gonna drill a hole in here and sync that so that I can disconnect it and put it away anytime I want. This part is gonna run through here, up into the center console and connect to our radio like so. And I'll have a nice hidden, clean install, and I can put my microphone away whenever I want.
My favorite part of running wire through a firewall is when it's done.
The beer afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cold beer afterwards is usually pretty satisfying. But yeah, there's really no fun part. Especially if you're a tall guy like me, trying to contort yourself under the steering wheel is definitely a challenge. I'm not the most flexible lass. So right now we are getting all of the lights and the radio wired up to the switch controller, basically just paying really close attention to amperage. So the radio, we know, has a 15 amp draw, so we're going to put it into a 20 amp fuse. We'll be putting the KC light, the front bar of 3 lights, onto the 30 amp, and the rock lights can go on the 5, and probably the reverse lights and the fogs we'll put on a 10 amp.
All right, we've got all our accessories wired up. We've got a switch panel here that you probably can't see from there, but it's hooked up to rock lights, driving lights, off-road lights, etc. It also is hooked up to our Midland MXT 575, which we ran a Cat 6 cable down to our console here. So if I want to put my handset away, I can just unplug it and toss it in the glove box or whatever. But I also did an MXM CO1 handset, which is a slight upgrade from the MXT 575 handset. Either one's kind of great, but this one's definitely an upgrade. You have all your controls and whatnot sort of a little bit better accessible, and you've got a larger display on it here. And that's kind of it. That's just about the end of our build, and the truck is pretty much ready for anything we want to throw at it at this point.
Riding